Hi guys, our Sparkles here, and in today's video I wanted to recreate a build from one of my favorite childhood movies, Beauty and the Beast. The Beast Castle just seems like it would be so much fun to build in Minecraft, so I had to give it a shot. After a quick Google search, I discovered it was going to be pretty difficult to nail down a specific design because every reference picture I saw was a little different. Some pictures had buildings missing, some had extra buildings thrown in there, some had a giant bridge leading to the castle, and some didn't. In some pictures, it was placed on its own island surrounded by a moat, and in some, it was tucked away in a forest. Even in the film itself, the castle looked different in every shot. After looking at them all, I decided to work off of the reference pictures with the best amount of detail so that I could recreate it as accurately as possible. I found this decoration ornament thing? I'm not too sure, but Disney sells it, so I figured it would be pretty accurate to the real thing. And I decided to work off of a couple screenshots that had the background I wanted. With references in hand, I hopped into my build world and started working on a basic shape and design. Now this is when I realized this project was going to be huge. My rough outline was already over 150 blocks tall, and even with the new mountain generation introduced in 1.18, I was never going to find the perfect seed to place this castle in and do it justice. So, I downloaded World Painter and created a custom map for this castle to live in. Going off my screenshots, I wanted the castle to be on its own secluded island, surrounded by water, with giant mountains in the background. Now, I will be the first to admit I am not a World Painter professional by any means. I'm sure this map could have turned out better in more capable hands, but I think it's pretty good for a first-timer. We're just gonna pretend these mountains look perfectly realistic. I mean, they're just for background ambiance anyway. After I exported the world and pasted my castle in, it was time to iron out all the details. I used a stone and andesite mix for the main part of the walls, and I added some shadowing underneath all the structures to create more depth to the build. I studied my reference photos and built every single window, chimney, and balcony I could find. After detailing everything by hand and recreating the custom map a few hundred times, the build was finally complete. Well, the outside, that is. I contemplated doing an interior, but honestly, this video has already taken me weeks to complete. So with that, let's enjoy the finished product. Here we are in the world to explore every detail of this build. First and foremost, I really like the way that this bridge turned out. It's kind of simple, but honestly, I think it just adds so much to this build. I really like the idea of a long walkway leading up to the build, and it lends itself to a nice dramatic feel. Even though I created this map with the regular parameters for a Minecraft world, for some reason my computer just does not have a fun time trying to load in these huge mountains. So if they come in and out of rendering like this, sorry about it. I've contemplated uploading this map to Planet Minecraft once I finish the interior, so let me know if that's something you guys would want, and then you can explore it yourselves with your own beefy computers. I think my favorite building out of this whole castle is probably this circular one right here in the front. This is where the ballroom is supposed to be. And this is just what convinced me to use sandstone as a detailing block because I just love the way that it makes everything pop. It looks so nice against the red roof and then the gray building. I don't know, I just love it. I'm also pretty proud of this little gargoyle guy. Let me tell you, it's not easy to make a small organic shape like this, but I think I did a pretty good job. I mean, he's got like horns and everything. My second favorite building is probably this main tower here. I just love how all the detailing came out in it. I find myself taking a lot of inspiration from O's build style and implementing it into my own build styles. I just love the way that he shades things using different gradients and forces a perspective or almost like a 3D aspect when there is none. So that's kind of what I emulated here is some of this shading, and it almost makes the building look a little weathered, which I love. This little back corner is also one of my favorite parts. I know I'm saying that about everything, but I just really love the way that this build turned out. I love this giant window and using different colored glass to create an effect. And then I used nether brick fence and dark oak gates to kind of make the pattern in the window that is in a lot of my reference photos. From the ground, you can really tell how huge this build is. I mean, it's massive. I mean, just look at the door itself. It's huge. Since I'm not a redstone genius, there's no way for me to really create a door this big and have it actually be functional, so I opted for like a it's cracked open situation here. And when we go inside, it's a little hard to see. There we go. But I did do a little bit of an entryway here. And then in the main entrance here, we have a little archway leading up to what would be the grand staircase. Like I said, I did not do really any of the interior, but I would like to work on it. I mean, I think it would be super fun, especially in this ballroom area. This would be so fun to maybe make some sort of pixel art on the ceiling, and in the pictures there's these grand pillars going all the way up, and I don't know, I just think it would be really fun to do this build especially. But let me know below if you guys want me to do another video when I finish the interior. And of course, no build showcase is complete without a nice little shaders moment, so here we are. I mean, this just takes it to a whole nother level. I love looking at my builds with shaders on them. Everything just looks so much cleaner, like even the windows. Oh, look at that. And especially with the water, the water just looks so much better with shaders on. I just love it so much. And it kind of helps these flags to look more like fabric and not like random blocks. I just love it, although I wish these mountains would load in the background because that's why I put them there. But you know what? It's okay. But with that, I think that's going to be all for today's video. If you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing. We recently just hit 100 subscribers, which is bonkers. I seriously never thought that that many people would be interested in this channel, so if you're one of those people, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!